Okay, so this is question number, I think it's 15 from homework 2.5. Use the intermediate value theorem to determine whether the following equation has a solution or not. If so, then use a graphing calculator or computer grapher to solve the equation. So first of all, we need to find out either this equation has solution or not by using intermediate value theorem. So according to intermediate value theorem, if you look at the intermediate value theorem, it says if you have a continuous function, let's say f of x is a continuous function on the interval ab. Okay, if this function is positive at some point c here, and then negative at some point d inside this interval, then that means between this positive and negative value there should be a point where this function has to be 0. So there should be a point, let's say a point t in between, uh, if c is less than d, let's say c is less than d, then on this interval the function, there should be some point t such that the value of the function at that point is 0. So basically, this order, being positive or negative could be, negative first and then positive next, or positive first and negative next. It doesn't matter. If at one point the function has positive value and at another point if the function has negative value or vice versa, then in between those 2 points the function should have 0 value. That's the intermediate value theorem. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find out, we're going to test, we're going to assume that the left side of this equation is a function, and as you can see that this is a polynomial function, so it's a continuous function, and we're going to pick 2 points and check the value of the function at those 2 points. If one is positive and another one is negative, then that tells us that yes, there is a 0 between those two values. Okay, and for that testing points you can choose any two testing point. Okay, maybe it doesn't give you the two opposite value at first, but eventually you can see that. Let's say I'm going to choose -1 and +1 to just to check. I'm going to say, okay, my function is x cubed minus 4x minus 2, and I'm going to find out the value of the function at -1, which is basically -1 cubed, -4 times -1, -2, and if you just plug this value, that will be +1. And if I choose x equal +1 here, it will be 1 minus 4 minus 2, which is negative, what is that, -5. So one is positive, another one is negative, and this is a continuous function. So that's why, uh, according to the intermediate value theorem, this equation must have a solution, because according to this theorem this function should be 0 at some point in between -1 and +1. Now how many points you can get where this function is 0, we don't know. That's up to the maximum we can see by using this degree of the polynomial. We can say that maximum 0 should be 3, but minimum we don't know. Minimum, according to this intermediate value theorem, there should be at least 1 for sure, so it should be in between 1 to 3. To find the exact answer, according to this instruction, you can use a graphing calculator or computer grapher. So if I need to ask you this question in the test or in the exam, then I should let you use the graphing calculator, which is not possible. So I'm not going to ask you this question uh, to find out the zeros, because if I do that, then I will let you use graphing calculator, which is not possible in our course, because you are not allowed to use graphing calculator. Okay, so I'm not going to ask you to find out the zeros of this equation, uh, but I can ask you test either this equation has a solution or not by using the intermediate value theorem. And this is how you have to do. You have to just choose two random points, and you just have to check the value of the function at these 2 points. And then if both of them are, like, let's say positive, then I'm going to choose another point. Okay, so I'm going to choose a couple of points, and if there is a zero, then I'll be able to find out two opposite value. Now to find out the exact answer for this equation, I'm using Wolfram Alpha from online Wolfram Alpha, which helps me to solve this equation. And if I type this equation, x cubed minus 4x minus 2, and then just hit enter, then it will give me the three solution here. As you can see that there are three solutions, and those solutions are negative 1.6751, negative 0.53919, and 2.2143. So I'm going to copy this answer here, negative one, negative 1.6751, 1.6751, comma, another answer is negative 0.5392, negative 0.5392. Remember, type your answer as an integer or decimal rounded to the 4 decimal places. So I'm just rounding that to the 4 decimal places. And finally, it's a 2.2143. 2.2143. So check answer, and that's your answer. So remember, to find out this exact answer, you have to use a graphing calculator or some kind of a computer grapher. Like I'm using Wolfram Alpha, so you can just type Wolfram Alpha to find out the solution while doing the homework. But I'm not going to ask you this type of problem, finding the solution for this kind of problem in the exam, because it needs a calculator, graphing calculator, which you are not supposed to use in the course during the test. Okay.